What's up, everyone? I am Sniggenhoff, everybody. I am Sniggenhoff, and we're playing some more Tyranny today. In the last episode, we finished off getting the Silent Archive from the Burning Library, and now Lantry has a super sweet staff. And we are going to head off to the Spire at that other place. Well, it was Vendrian's Well was where we came from. Lethian's Crossing. That's where we're going. So let's get our seals up on out of here. It's going to take us probably quite a while, 5 days to get over there. Ambush. Members of the Bronze Brotherhood are blocking the road. Alright, let's see what this is all about. You must be joking. A toll? I will pay no such thing. I demand to be let through. A small figure stands before some armor-clad soldiers. His arms move wildly as he gestures in frustration, yelling at the man directly in front of him. And he's with Lethian's Crossing. Absolutely not. I've come through Ironhall Trail more times than I can remember. No one ever asked for a toll before. I won't be paying one now. Fatebinder, surely you of all people can help me. My name is Aster. I must get to Lethian's Crossing. I have goods to deliver. Tell this man I will not be paying a toll to him or anyone, and he has to let me through. Greetings, Fatebinder. I'm sorry you've been drawn into this. What you stumbled into is merely a conflict of the changing times. I am Will of the Bronze Brotherhood, mercenary company from the Free Cities. Ironhall Trail is under our protection, and anyone passing through must obey our rules. If this gentleman would like to pass through our land, a simple donation is required. These funds help our cause and keep Ironhall a safe place for all travelers. Clearly, you can both see value in that. Aster speaks, his arms swinging about again, emphasizing his words. And who exactly is keeping it safe? You standing there, with your weapons at the ready against me? His arms drop as he turns to you again. I'm not but a traveling merchant. I have no money to spare, and I certainly pose no threat to anyone. Keep this area safe indeed. You are the only threat here. Fatebinder, please talk some sense to this man. I can either pay the toll for him, tell Will, this guy, that he's not paying any toll. Or say it's a waste of my time. Thing is, I don't want to pay a toll either. I'm going to pay the toll for him. Thank you, Fatebinder. And you, Brute. Move aside and let me pass. But of course, though merchant, do be sure to have some rings of your own for the trip back. I doubt your friend here will be around to pay your way through these lands twice. So, a Fatebinder in our little corner of the world. Who'd ever thought this would happen? While I appreciate your help dealing with the merchant, I'm afraid I can't let you pass until you've spoken with our leader, Raytomon. Personally, I thought he was crazy saying you'd be visiting Lethian's Crossing. Looks like I owe him a few rings. Not that there's a shortage of those out here. What can this humble servant of the Brotherhood do for you, Fatebinder? And don't ask me to let you through because that isn't happening. Someone made a mistake of giving this little man too much power, and he's about to discover what happens when you stand in my way. If you think you can move him, do it. With pleasure. Hey, shipmate, do you plan on moving your Hassa century, or do we have to stand here jawing like a bunch of graybeards? We're on a mission, and staring at your ugly mug, catching up on the past won't get it done any faster. Are you going to move on, or do I need to start cutting because I'm partial to either option? I would help you, but my boss told me to guard this bridge. No one gets by without Raytomon's permission. Kairos, give me strength. You deserve far more than I'm going to enjoy it. You deserve far more than I'm going to enjoy it. You deserve this far more than I'm going to enjoy it. Burst swings her fist and lands a punch with a meaty whack, snapping back the mercenary's head. Hold on, I'm just doing my job. I apologize if I offended. Raytamon will have my head if I let you through. There's nothing I can do about it. I like letting Verse do things. And here's the Fatebinder. He doesn't mask the displeasure in his voice. I knew we'd see you. I was just wondering when. What brings you out where no one asked you to come? Are Kairos' dogs ready to be put down again? I won't surrender the crossing no matter how many times you try to take it. We were hired to protect the city and we continue to do it. No one else will have it. He glances at his men who have stopped to watch the conversation. With a start, they return to searching the bodies. Never mind. He wipes his hand dismissively. I don't care why you're here. My name is Raytamon and I'm the leader of the Bronze Brotherhood. But I'm sure you already knew that. I couldn't help but see you over here talking to Will and that traveling merchant, only here for a moment and already sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, are you? I don't appreciate others invading my territory, Fatebinder. I told him that he had to speak to you, Raytamon. That's a hard name to say. He wanted through, but I told him no. If you don't give me the signal, the Fatebinder isn't getting into Lethian's Crossing. No one will invade your territory. Watch yourself while you are a guest in my land. If you've come to stir up more trouble, we are well equipped and will not back down in the defense of what is rightfully ours. Welby and I might not always agree, but that is one point we see eye to eye on. If you step out of line, we will both correct you. His eyes narrow as he leans towards you. You are not welcome here. Now tell me what you want or leave. We were asked to do a job and we did it. Then what happens? Kairos attempts to eject us from our home. He makes an emphatic gesture to the north toward Lethian's Crossing. By all rights, that city is ours, and suddenly Kairos wants it. Well, I intend to keep it. I refuse to leave. We protected the crossing for years and even ensured Kairos forces could do business here when Nara asked us to. No, we did the job we were asked, and this land belongs to us. You do well to watch your tone. I care not about Kairos forces. We rebuffed their feeble attempt to remove us from our rightful home once already. I am more than happy to try again. You will find I do not cower when you raise your voice against me, lapdog. Why are you charging a toll? I don't see how affairs of the Brotherhood are your business, Fatebinder. Suffice it to say, the funds we receive from our tolls help us keep the lands around Lethian's Crossing safe. We are owed our dues, and we shall have them. Tell me about Welby. I had such high hopes for her as my first acts. The continued success of the Brotherhood should be the most important goal for anyone who is a member. She seems to have forgotten her place. She is not the head of this band. I am. She doesn't stop overreaching. I will have to replace her with someone who knows how to obey. Is this Welby? Is this Welby? We'll speak again soon.
Can't do that.
Still won't let me through, huh? Okay. Still have to convince him to let me through, I guess. I need to get into Lethian's Crossing. If I let you through, you must promise to behave. I have enough problems dealing with everyone else. I don't need the hassle of keeping an eye on you too. So watch yourself. This is my city, and I have eyes everywhere. If you tend to stir up trouble, go somewhere else. I don't need it here. Okay. So important about these bodies. They were undoubtedly scouts sent by Kairos to ascertain our defenses, and where one group is found, many others are sure to follow. We are looking for anything that will tell us how many there are and where they will strike next. They've tried to take Lethian's Crossing back and already failed. If the forces are too numerous this time, we may not be able to hold it again. We're a humble group with noble, long-held traditions on the side of right and honor. If there's injustice that needs to be rectified, we are called. So you're hired mercenaries. If you want to be crass, then yes, people pay us for our services, but it's hardly the reason we do what we do. Relax, there's no shame in doing what you do for a decent wage, but claiming you're doing the work of the righteous when you're just selling your brawn makes you sound like a brigand or a conqueror. Those are quite arrogant words from a man who belongs to a group that takes knowledge and hides it from the world. Your opinion in this matter means nothing to me. Jesus, guy's kind of a dick. You said you do it for the money, but that's why... You said you don't do it for the money, but that's why you're fighting over Lethian's Crossing. I don't appreciate your tone or the implications of what you're saying, Fatebinder. This is a mere matter of principle. We performed a service and we were paid for that service. Don't try to glibly explain a complex situation. This is our home. This is my home. I will have it. No one else. Now, if you came here, all you came to do here is insult. If all you came here to do is insult me and mine, I would suggest you leave. All right. Hopefully, I can get through now. Yes, I can. Symphony of the Forge. The Forge-bound master is currently in Lethian's Crossing, the settlement. Has agreed to let you through the Broad's Brotherhood toll. Okay. Sunset Spire, Lethian's Crossing. One thing I wanted to do very quickly is check my spells. Unfortunately, I've only got the 2 sigils. So that's Concussive Bolt. But then I can add... This makes it do more damage. This makes the cooldown less. Can I add all the sigils to it? Gives it better range, but the more these I add to it, the more lore is required for it. So this takes 115 lore to learn, which none of my party has. That's False Pit, and then this is Spectral Blur. What does Intensity do for this one? It does make it more powerful. I don't think I need to worry about it too much right now. I do wish I had some other sigils. Oh my goodness, there's so much to loot here.
Sorry, can't.
Settler. Bruiser. Raider. Box. With heavy leather gloves in them. Okay. Merchant Praxis and these 2 guys. Good day, my friend. Could I interest you in all manner of provisions? There's no telling what may befall you on your travels. Tell me anything about the seal? I don't recognize it, but one of the other merchants here might. Between us all, there has to be someone who has seen it in their travels. Show me what you have for sale. I know we'll find something you need. Exquisite Spear. And Tier Forge Bronze Spear. He sells 6 camping supplies, or he has 6 camping supplies. Let me go up to my limit in camping supplies. Talk to these 2. Sorry to cause a disturbance, Fatebinder. Just making a point to my friend here about harassing me for rings. Get it, Krasner? Point. You stabbed me, you bastard, and I'm not harassing you. All I want is what you owe me. Right, I've already made these guys mad, so I'm more likely to side with Felno over here, I think. Who already likes me a little bit. It's a tiny scratch. Stop crying about it, you baby. If you want, we can get the Fatebinder to decide who's right in this little matter. That is, if you think you have a leg to stand on, once you can stand up again, that is. Now I'm kind of thinking I'm going to end up siding with this guy, because I've been about justice. I'll adjudicate the matter, but you both need to abide by my decision. Fine by me. Then I won't have to resort to violence to prove my point. I know you're going to rule in my favor anyway, so yeah, I agree. So, Krasner, tell me your side of the story. Felno hired me to talk to some of the other merchants into leaving town. I did what he asked, but now he won't pay up. What happened with the merchants? The merchants that are out here aren't going to back down just because some soldier says a bunch of mean words to them, and I figured I'd shake them down for rings, convince them it'd be cheaper to leave. Did they pay up? I made a few rings. Once I'd visited all of them, I came back to collect the pay I was promised. Felno said he wouldn't pay me, and then he just stabbed me. This is a one-time job? Just the one time. Drinking money, you understand. The Brotherhood wouldn't approve of me freelancing for some merchant, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to do it just once. Tell me your side of the story. I asked Krasner to do a job for me, something simple. He comes back, says the job is done, even though there's no results. He demands his pay. I tell him no, and Krasner there gets all threatening. What was the job you had Krasner do? Business has been down on account of all the other merchants around here. I hired Krasner to have a word with some of them, maybe get them to leave town or stop competing with me on price. Not only did Krasner not do what I asked, but it got back to me that he shook down some of the other merchants for rings. That's not what I hired him for. You hired him to intimidate your competition. I can see how it might look, but that's how it's done around here, sometimes anyway. It doesn't matter since that's not the issue and it didn't work anyway. Krasner can keep the rings he extorted from the others, but he's not getting a single one from me. I hired him to do something and he didn't do it. End of story. Are you threatening to kill him? Of course not. Like I said, he was starting to make threats and wouldn't take no for an answer. I might not be a tough man, but I can take care of myself. I guess I'm ready to pronounce my decision. Well, it's pretty obvious to everyone on the right. I did not get what I hired him for, so he doesn't deserve any more money, especially from me. Shut up, Felno. Just because competitors can't be intimidated doesn't mean you get out of paying me for the job. I deserve payment for the work that I did. I mean, yeah, both guilty of intimidation and extortion. Oh, what? Damn it all. Fucking Krasner, you screwed us both. Nicely done. Hopefully people will think twice before wasting your time in the future. Well, didn't give me any wrath with anybody, so that's nice. There's a box over here. Somewhere. Heavy armor. Staggering burn. And whetstone. Jeez.
That wasn't so hard.
Sorry if anybody or Brandon was recently spotted in glowing numbers recently.
Can't do that.
So Eldon asked us to seal the old walls. Okay. I think that's where I have to go into the spire. There's a door here. Shall we? Ooh. Secret compartment. With a raven shawl. Of rogues. Plus 10 subterfuge. Settler. The wall at the back of this home has long since crumbled away, revealing the old walls behind it. Okay. Loading screen. Such a wonderful loading screen. I've been staring at it since I've been 16. There we go. Alright. There's boxes around here. I want to loot them. Is it up here? Possibly up there. There is, however, another door over here. And some dudes to talk to. You wouldn't think it would take this long to load a house. Okay. Speaking of houses, this is not a house. Master the Fatebinder is here. Zidania turns and approaches you, her lithe body moving fluidly as she walks. She stops before you, her stance solid and sure, but you see she is standing lightly on her feet, ready to move if necessary. She never takes her eyes off of you, but she is acutely aware of her surroundings. Fatebinder, may the fires of the forge never cool. She salutes you. I had hopes our paths would cross. What can the servant of the flame do for you? Why have you come to Lethian's Crossing? What an odd question, Fatebinder. When you showed up in the forge, I thought you had been sent to check up on me, as my mission came directly from Tunon. Shouldn't you already know? I was tasked with creating an artifact to protect the forge bound from the Bane. We have been delayed too often and lost too many of our own, so it was decreed that something must be done. I have created the Mage Bane helm to keep the Bane at bay. Once the helm is in place, its magic will keep the Bane locked away inside the old walls. Why did you create a helm? The Forgebound are the crafters of weapons and armor, Fatebinder, not statues and baubles. I make what I know. It is also portable and can be moved easily or used in battle should its protection be needed elsewhere in the future. For the time being, though, it will remain here, protecting the Forgebound. We have a job to do and cannot do it properly if we are constantly assaulted by outside forces. Why did the Forgebound stay here? The forge is in the shadow of the old walls in an area rich with iron. We have ample supply of raw material and the influence of ancient magics. It is an acceptable risk, and with the helm in place, the Bane will no longer be an issue. Why were you asked to create this item? Couldn't any Forgebound here do it? All Forgebound are masters of their craft, but each also has their special talents. The Mage Bane required someone whose skills were well above those who haven't been practicing as long as I have. Tunon wanted a masterpiece, so he asked the master. I have a request to make of you. Unfortunately, I don't have time to entertain your request right now, Fatebinder. I was just on my way to place the helmet. I need to get it set up as soon as possible. The settlers here have created a spot on the 3rd tier. If you don't mind, join me and Eldian there. Join me and Eldian, and we can speak there. Okay. Is that Eldian? I assume it is. Yes. The sunburnt man dips his head in greeting. An outsider never arrives alone. At least, that is what my mother always said. She knew what she was talking about. I'm Eldian. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing. You must be the one everyone's talking about, Tunon's Fatebinder, right? We could have used your help when Kairos forces tried to take Lethian's Crossing, though I suppose you would have been fighting on their side, wouldn't you? But the Brotherhood overcame, and now we're saddled with their continued leadership. I suppose there are worse fates. Hearing stories from your exploits in Vendrian as well, I expected you to be 12 feet tall and shoot fire from your mouth. Can't always tell the contents of a pie from its crust, can you? But enough of my prattling. You didn't come here for a history lesson or to get my opinion of your grandeur. What can this old fool do for you? Can I ask you some questions? If you have questions about our settlement, I'm the one to ask. I have the dubious distinction of being the oldest living resident of Lethian's Crossing, so I've been here for a lot of its history. Eyes, hips, hair, and hearing might be failing, but my mind still remembers everything that happened here. What would you like to know about it? I'll do my best not to go on too long about it. I know I have a problem of keeping my conversations short. What can you tell me about the Spire? Sometimes I wonder why Lethian thought it was a good idea to settle here. We'd already had a Bane problem before the Forgebound set up here. Now that they're using the crossing as one of their main forges, the Bane issue is even worse. Since the Bane are drawn to magical energy, we have to be on constant alert for them escaping. How did you seal the door? I have a keystone that can be used to open or seal the door. One of Kairos' soldiers found it while they were looking for a way to seal the doors to keep the Bane from escaping. The sealed door is only a temporary measure, though. It holds the Bane back for now, but it won't last for much longer. That's why Tunon instructed Zendenia to create an artifact to protect Lethian's Crossing from the Bane. Will you let me into the old walls? I'm afraid that's not a risk I'm willing to take, Fatebinder. Once the doors are unsealed, there's a good chance the Bane will flood into Lethian's Crossing. As much as I would love to help you, I can't endanger the town like that. Let me ask you something else. Um, yeah, I don't want to sit here for forever talking. I'm sure he's got some interesting information, but I think I got the stuff I needed. What else we got over here? Master of Casting, Master of Tempering, and a couple locked chests that I'm totally not going to steal everything from. Oh, wait.
Will do.
Oh, wait. I also need to make my way back to my spire at some point and see if I can do what I can do with these upgrades. Why is this loading screen so long? What is happening? Okay. Biotis. He's probably just a merchant. Tell me anything about this seal? Never seen it before. Who are you with? Forgebound. Iron Javelin. Exquisite. Hello. Hello. More armor protection, penetration, more DPS. Oh, that's melee attack. Ranged attack, more armor pen, less recovery, +1 DPS, -4 accuracy. But it's like, I mean, it goes from 13 to 15 to 20 to 22. It does have less recovery though, but a lot more armor pen. I do have the money for it if I wanted to spend all my money. I would get an exquisite weapon out of it. That armor is rather nice too. Oh, but it's heavy armor. I don't think I want heavy armor. Speaking of, if I'm gonna be selling this stuff to this guy, let's really sell some stuff to this guy. Let's get rid of all our non-fine stuff. I think I'm just gonna keeping all the fine stuff. I don't need to keep the heavy armor on me anymore because I'm not gonna have anybody who's using it. Definitely don't want to sell any of that, and we should be able to sell all of this. I'm gonna buy this javelin. I lose 31 rings out of it. It's fine. Twice warped Periapt. +1 resolve. Sure. I'll wear that. What's this? Alright. Bro. Maybe you need to not be holding literally everything. Party stash full? No, party stash isn't full. What's this? Bane Essence. Okay, it's consumable. Whetstone. There we go. And then not those. Learn that. Is that all the ones I haven't learned? Looks like it. These guys are arguing. Let's talk to them. I'm glad you came along, Fatebinder. Now that you're here, we can settle this. Evander is with the douches. Bronze Brotherhood. Why do we need a Fatebinder for this? It's such a trivial matter. Probably gonna start with Forgebound. I want these Forge guys to like me. Trivial, we were almost killed. Tell me what's going on. Felix sent me and Maris to the old walls for materials. Now I know the old walls are dangerous, but Felix said he had it on good authority. There was no danger. Felix was going to make an axe for each of us in return. I couldn't pass it up. A forge-bound axe costs a lot of rings normally. Hey, forge-bound magic is just as dangerous, you know. It's not my fault that the most reliable, stable materials happen to be found near the old walls. And besides, those axes you were getting in payment were exceptional compensation for the task. So these two near the old walls? The best materials are found near the old walls, and good material is hard to come by. There's no way I could do it all myself. I'd never get any forging done, and my master is very particular about meeting production quotas. It was a fair trade for their service. Plus, it's not like forging items using those materials is perfectly safe either. One error, and you're a pile of ash on the floor. Have you sent anyone to the old walls before? While I've never ordered anyone to go inside, they might have, but I have no way of knowing for sure, you see. Yes, of course, Fatebinder, but there's room for some flexibility in that law. After all, I'm sure Kairos would want us to produce only the best arms and armor for his armies. Tell me your side of things. I'm not one of the disfavored, so I know getting my hands on genuine forge-bound items is damn hard. Naturally, I jumped at the chance to do the job for Felix. I mean, it was just gathering materials. I didn't expect to find Bane all over the damn place. Luckily, I've dealt with Bane before and was able to fight my way out. I managed to rescue Maris while I was retreating. Did you go inside the old walls? Yes, only for a moment to look around, then right back up. Couldn't have been more than a minute. You've done this sort of job for him before? Yes, I've done similar jobs. This was the first one that's taken me anywhere near the old walls, though. I figured Felix knew what he was about, though, or he'd gotten the go-ahead from his master. How did you get involved in this? I've known Felix since before the conquest, and when he told me about the job, I agreed to do it. No questions asked. It's nothing I hadn't done for him before. While I was out gathering materials, I was ambushed by the scourges. If Evander hadn't come along when he did, I'd have died. Have you ever in any danger from previous jobs? No, not really. A few wild animal encounters, but nothing like this. Where inside of the old walls are off limits. Sort of, but I wasn't planning to go inside, just near enough to get the materials Felix needed. Made my decision. Felix is simply trying to further his craft. I hope no one dies next time he sends someone out for materials. Anyway, Fatebinder's made a ruling, so let's never talk about this again. At least the weapons will keep coming this way, though really, someone ought to teach that smith a lesson. Okay. Well, that happened. There's a barrel here. With some camping supplies. Good thing I just bought camping supplies. This is why I never buy items. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Tell me, how would you have ruled in that little spat, the little lover's quarrel we had over here? But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.